anybody who's just getting up, Joe Biden is in Ukraine this afternoon there. You're talking about China may get involved militarily to assist Russia. And as we move into the second year of this war, what does that look like if suddenly China's feeding Russia stuff they need to blow us up?
Exactly, Steve. They already have. China is providing drones to Russia that Russia has been using to target Ukraine. As you remember, prior to February 24 last year, Xi Jinping and Putin met and they struck the so-called no-limits partnership, right? They're not true partners in the true sense. They're more of adversaries, but they're a marriage of convenience because they're both hell-bent on challenging the United States. So they're about to start providing, my intelligence analysis tells me, lethal weaponry. And so the major threat that we should now be concerned about, instead of hyper-focusing on this conflict, which, the Pentagon typically does, fighting the last war, we need to focus on the big picture. So here's the biggest threat, is if Russia and China challenge us in a two-theater war, we're going to have a really hard time prevailing. Sure. Because, as I said, we're depleting our own weapons supply. Military analysts are right now estimating that we're going to run out of weaponry in about 1 to 2 weeks if China invades Taiwan, which the estimate right now, my own assessment, is going to happen during Biden's term. CIA Director William Burns warned us that by 2027, she already gave order to the military of China to get ready for war. She directly said every energy needs to be put in for that war. So two-theater war is something that I anticipate.
Rebekah, what message does it send to China if we allow Russia to absorb Ukraine and don't do anything?
So what China, the lesson that China is learning right now, Brian, is
No, but just answer my question. If we just said, okay, take Ukraine, that's too bad. Zelensky, you want a vacation home in the Caribbean? Why don't you go ahead and take that? How soon do you think China would have taken Taiwan already?
China would have taken it very quickly.
Exactly. So
I don't believe anybody advocates.
So you're talking generally. You have to talk in the real world. In the real world, Russia invaded Ukraine. Either we help Ukraine or we allow it to be taken over, and understand the ripple effect will be goodbye Moldova, which is already happening, goodbye Georgia, which is already, they lost about 2 provinces, and then go ahead and start mounting troops on Poland unless they flip governments, and they've already started to infiltrate into the Baltic nations. At one point, we're going to be fighting over there. So either you back Ukraine to fight, or you just give Eastern Europe back to Russia, and that really doesn't go well.
2 points. First, with all due respect to you, there's a logical disconnect in your argument. On the one hand, everybody is saying how tactically incompetent Russia is, how it's losing. How in the world do you think Russia is going to attack Poland, which is a NATO country, which automatically will trigger Article 5, collective defense?
They'd wait a couple of years, they'd rearm, and they would go. Do I think they'd be successful in Poland? They would just grind it out again by your theory. And that's what they would do.
Putin is not suicidal. There's no intelligence, Brian. And I spent my intelligence career on this guy. Putin
so he'd stop at Ukraine? He'd stop at Ukraine?
Here's my assessment on what Putin would potentially agree to if we were to put a peace plan on the table. He would agree to keeping the 20% of Ukrainians' territory, Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Luhansk, which is pretty much the Donbass region is the industrial base, plus Crimea.
Right. So
if we were to ever recognize, which
give up the country.
Rebekah,
not the country, 20%.
The most industrious part of the country. Just give it up.
Exactly.
So we should just give Texas to Mexico, and
but don't
if they want it,
parts of the Donbass region
It's
and then
been,
also
it's been,
Crimea as well?
it was a contested, yeah, it was a contested
Since
region.
2014.
But the
Yeah.
Crimea region is more of a vacation spot. That's debatable. It never should have allowed it to be
Okay.
taken. Having said that, but to give up 25% of the country because they want it and think it's going to stop there is crazy.
Well, I'm not
Well, we
advocating
gotta-
that
we
we
gotta
give it.
go.
I'm just telling
Rebecca,
you
I'm
the
just telling you.
reality.
Thank you for joining us.
Rebecca,
Of course, thank you for
very
insightful.
having me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.